In the blazing heat of revolution during the 18th century, the United States of America was born. What started as a cluster of colonies struggling under British rule erupted into a nation that, within 2 centuries, would shape global politics, technology, and warfare. But America's roots stretch much deeper into time, long before the smoke of musket fire and the echo of independence declarations. This is the sweeping story of a continent, its native people, the clash of empires, and the rise of a republic that would come to influence the fate of the modern world. Before the founding of the United States, North America had already witnessed millennia of human history. Native communities thrived across the land, developing distinct cultures shaped by geography and spirituality. From the advanced urban settlements of the Mississippi culture to the communal pueblos of the Southwest and the sophisticated political system of the Iroquois Confederacy, indigenous societies laid deep roots long before the first European sails had dotted the horizon. The arrival of Europeans, sparked by Columbus's 1492 voyage and followed by waves of Spanish, Portuguese, French, Dutch, and English expeditions, forever altered the course of the continent. As European powers scrambled for dominance in the New World, they brought disease, slavery, and displacement, devastating native populations by the millions. Colonies were built on trade, tobacco, and later gold, drawing thousands across the Atlantic. French fur traders expanded inland, the Dutch prospered on the Hudson River, and the English founded settlements like Jamestown and Plymouth. Conflict was inevitable. The Beaver Wars, fought over fur and firearms, and the French and Indian War, a prelude to global conflict, set the stage for colonial unrest, taxation without representation. That was the cry that lit the fuse. As Britain imposed levies to cover war debts, resentment grew in the 13 colonies. The Boston Massacre and the Boston Tea Party weren't isolated events. They were seismic shifts. The colonies were no longer asking for rights. They were demanding independence. Armed resistance exploded in Lexington and Concord. In Philadelphia, the Declaration of Independence was signed. George Washington took command. The revolution began. Through bitter winters, bloody fields, and a war of attrition, the Continental Army held on. The turning point came at Saratoga, where a hard-fought victory won France's support. Years later at Yorktown, British forces surrendered. The Treaty of Paris in 1783 officially recognized American independence. But now came the harder part, building a nation. The Articles of Confederation gave way to the U.S. Constitution. George Washington became the first president. Expansion followed. Louisiana was purchased. Lewis and Clark set off into the unknown. Native Americans were displaced under harsh policies like the Indian Removal Act. The Trail of Tears painted a dark chapter in America's westward march. Then came Civil War. The question of slavery, industrial versus agrarian economies, and state sovereignty fractured the nation. Abraham Lincoln, elected in 1860, steered the Union through its darkest hour. Gettysburg, emancipation, surrender at Appomattox. The nation endured, but Lincoln paid with his life. Reconstruction began. America surged forward. Railroads connected oceans. Immigrants poured in. The Industrial Revolution took hold. But with ambition came imperialism. The Spanish-American War, the annexation of territories, and involvement in Latin America signaled a new role: global power. World War I tested this role. Neutral at first, the U.S. was drawn in, helping tilt the balance in the Allies' favor. The Roaring Twenties brought buoys, cars, and cinema, but the Great Depression brought ruin. Then, Pearl Harbor, World War II, the Manhattan Project, D-Day, victory in Europe and Asia, a new world order. The Cold War followed, capitalism versus communism, the Berlin airlift, the Cuban Missile Crisis, the space race. Civil rights movements shook the foundations of society. Subscribe for more epic breakdowns of world history, revolutions, and the rise and fall of empires.